Hey, I'm Brock with Brock Entertainment.
And I'm Amanda with Amanda Reed Weddings.
And this is the I Do IQ podcast, where each and every week we're going to be discussing the latest in wedding and event trends.
And we're going to let you know all the things that you need to know in order to make your event the most special.
Yeah, and in the end, you will have the best wedding and event experience ever.
And something tells me we're going to have a little fun along the way.
I don't know about that. I'm a pretty serious guy,
Yeah,
Amanda.
you kind of are.
And this is a serious topic, so only seriousness.
Serious business.
This is the I Do IQ podcast. Let's begin. Hey, I'm Brock.
And I'm Amanda.
And this is I Do IQ. I'm ready to talk about what we're talking about today.
What are we talking about today?
I don't know. You came up with the topic, so I'm excited. But recently we tasted Screwball. And I said... Not Snowball. Screwball. I said, you can pick whenever you want, you can bring your own drink.
Sure.
So what did you bring for us today?
It's just a bottle, a good old classic Lamarka Prosecco.
Do you have a lot of this at weddings?
Yeah, this is a pretty common one to serve.
Okay, it has not been opened yet.
No, it is not. I'm scared. Are you going to... I don't trust you to
pop
do this. Are you... I'm scared.
Boom! Nailed it!
You actually did pretty well.
As it spills out everywhere.
Towel. Oh my gosh, should I get a towel?
No, they got it. But let's pour some as they get us a towel here.
Oh, mercy. That is why we don't pop the bottle like that.
But you know what? It was a lot cooler
It was. Then
just open it in your hand.
you know you're supposed to open it with a kiss, though?
What?
Like, not a kiss, but like it's supposed to make like a little sound when you take it off.
Why?
That's how it is. When the cork releases, like you're supposed to like hold it at the bottom and you twist it.
You have the soak of the cork and soak of the cork.
There's champagne everywhere.
Yeah. All right, let's taste this. Is this your champagne of choice? Cheers.
It's one that I like.
Yeah?
It's one that I really, there's a few I like. Veuve is probably my favorite.
Just throw that over here. Thank you. All right. What is?
Veuve Clicquot.
What is that?
It's a French champagne.
Is it expensive?
It's more expensive than
Probably
Lamarka.
is because you're Richie Rich.
I'm fancy pants, and that's
Oh,
why.
my
No,
gosh.
I like Lamarka though. I think it's really good. I've done a few times really fun, like with a popsicle, like a fruit popsicle in it in the summertime. You serve it like in a coupe, and it's wide open. It's really yummy. Might have done that in my driveway a time or two.
So the first thing I ever tasted alcohol wise was I tasted. We got people off camera that.
He's waiting for that one too.
Oh, no! I'll just hold on to this.
I feel like it's going to be messy.
I had in a bottle at a family reunion. My cousin Snunk.
Who's your cousin?
My
Snunk?
cousin snuck a bottle of mimosa,
Ooh.
which is so good.
Yes.
And he drank. I tasted it,
Yeah.
and he drank some of it, or most of it. And him and my cousin got wasted. We were like 16. And then they got into a fight.
Oh, that's not good.
It's so trashy.
So trashy. But you know what? That's okay.
But this is good.
It's good.
I like this.
It's good. It's light.
Yeah.
It feels summery.
It's no
fresh.
Screwball, but
no, well, it's a little more girly, I guess. But I do. I like.
But I'm
I
a
like
girly
champagne.
drinker.
Yeah, you are.
You know what would be good in this? A Jolly Rancher.
Ooh, that might be interesting.
Kind of trashy, right?
No, I think that's fine.
All right, so what are we talking about today?
Right now we're talking about champagne and
Yeah,
Jolly
we are.
Ranchers. We're talking about tipping and reviews.
Tipping and reviews.
Yes.
Okay.
So something that I get asked pretty frequently is, should I be tipping my vendors?
I think so.
I mean,
I'm a vendor.
obviously, vendors think so, yes. So here's what I say, and I don't know that this is going to be widely,
This is already
accepted
making
or
me
not.
burp, by the way.
That's not, it's the bubbles.
It's
they're
a bubble,
getting you.
yeah.
I know.
Oof, I'm just
There's going to be
gonna
some great
belch
outtakes.
into this
Awesome.
microphone the whole time. You
You're
do
gonna-
this, and I'm gonna burp.
Lovely. Well, I'm gonna hope that the outtakes are not present for this one because
Well.
that scares me a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
I lost my train of thought.
You're talking about tipping.
Got that?
Yeah. Vendors.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So people ask me this all the time.
Yeah.
They really, should we tip, whatever. They try to kind of plan for that. And my answer is this. The vendors that you've hired have priced their services fairly.
Right.
They're not expecting a tip. There are parts of the country where tipping is absolutely not required, but
Expected.
very much expected. I don't believe that it's as expected here. However, it's always appreciated.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
I'm being paid to be there, but I love it when someone notices that I've worked extra hard for them.
Right.
And acknowledges that with a gift, cash, whatever. So I think that's something, I don't think people know quite how to handle that. And I think it's an important topic to talk about.
I like that.
Because they don't know. And I give my clients kind of some guidelines and things like that. But, even officiants, everybody along the line, there are places where they're walking around with a handout. They're expecting to be tipped.
Oh, really?
Not here. Yeah, that's
not in this area.
No, we don't see that in this area very commonly. But it is so grateful. People are so thankful, especially servers and things like that. My rule of thumb is, if I just gave a big.
Now a belch is going to come.
I was setting the stage for you. My rule of thumb is, if the vendor has gone above and beyond, then absolutely that they are entitled to a tip.
Yeah.
I feel like but that's up to the couple or the family to decide that. Sometimes they'll give me an envelope full of cash and they're like, distribute.
And you're like, okay,
cool.
Boom.
I did a great job. No.
And they let you distribute it however you see fit?
No. What they'll do is, throughout the evening, DJ's killing it. Go give him all the cash. That server over there was really great.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Occasionally, that's not the most common, but that does happen occasionally.
Have you ever had somebody do that and be like, don't give them cash, make it rain on them?
No, but I
don't want to see you hand it to you. I want to see you make it rain.
I wish. Nobody's ever asked me for that, but that would be amazing.
That'd be
Crisp
awesome.
Ones. Oh, yeah. Or 20s or 100s. Yeah, it'd be great.
Make it rain. We did a Hindi event.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They make it rain on the bride and groom.
Oh, that's so cool.
Or whoever. At a birthday party, they make it rain on them. Yeah.
That's so fun.
All this money.
How does that make you feel happy with cash?
And nobody's like just running and picking it up.
Because it's for the couple.
Yeah,
that's understood.
They dance around it. And yeah, I'm going to be like, nobody's going to see this hundo that I...
That is so funny. No, yeah. So that's kind of my rule of thumb, though, is if you see a vendor that's really going above and beyond and really working exceptionally well to please the client, those are the people that deserve a tip, in my opinion.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell my guys, you do well at every event. There's two ways as a DJ you can get a tip or paid more.
Mm-hmm.
A traditional tip, they give it to you at the end of the night.
Right.
Or if you book extra time.
Right.
So if we're booked for 5 hours and they book an extra hour or two, they get half of whatever they book it for, which is like a tip because,
Sure, it's extra.
they get almost double to 3 times as much as they would get paid for that hour.
Right.
So one instance, one of my DJs did a wedding in Branson. It was his first ever wedding to DJ for me by himself. And the couple, I said, I'll send him to this one because it's a Christian couple. The bride had told me not a lot of dancing. We're only going to book 3 hours. It's not going to be a huge party. So I said, you can't mess this one up, basically. They're doing first dances and then going to eat not much more. Let's see. He called me. He goes, so they booked 3 extra hours at this much. I said, okay.
3 extra hours.
Yeah, on top of the 3.
Okay.
Because it was a party. He goes, I got him dancing. It was crazy. Because the bride thought it's all these,
there's just
Christian Baptists or whatever. They're not going to dance. They're not dancers. Well, she was wrong.
Wow.
3 extra hours, blew their minds as far as dancing. And then they gave him a tip for $500.
Oh my goodness.
His first wedding, he cleared, I want to say, over $1,200. His first wedding.
That's amazing. Set the precedent pretty high.
Yeah, I go, that probably will never happen again.
But I'm so glad it did.
But he's like, oh, I love this job. I love it.
This is the best job ever.
I go, you just got paid $1,200 or whatever it was.
Wow.
And basically because you got a $500 tip, you booked 3 extra hours, whatever else you were going to get paid.
I can't believe they stuck around that long.
And he goes, they would have stayed longer, but the venue said they had to go.
We're out. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
And he turned out to be an amazing DJ.
You never know.
But I go, dude, that was your first solo wedding. And I've never been tipped $500.
Yeah.
I have since been tipped $500 because that was years ago. But I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
Like $200, that's really big for a tip.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you're considering 20%. That's,
Right. And that's
wow.
That's where you've kind of got to figure it out because there are couples and families who will look at that. Okay, well, we're paying for the bartender. For bartenders, for example, I think we talked about this when we talked with Mike before. We've begun adding a gratuity onto their fee because I don't like having that tip jar sitting out on the bars.
So you add it to the bartenders.
We go ahead and add it to the bar.
I like that.
Well, I just don't like the tip jar sitting out. I feel like it sets the wrong precedent. You've invited these guests to this wedding.
Right.
And you're getting free alcohol, but you're expected to give this guy some cash. So I like giving that. So
well, I have had to be on the mic and say, hey, don't forget to tip the bartender.
Have you really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do like kind of setting that precedent that they're already being tipped, they're already being covered. People can still slide them cash over the bar. Right. That's fine. And we're not talking just bartenders receiving tips. Like I said, we're talking DJs, we're talking planners, we're talking the car driver, we're talking catering staff.
So do you think everybody should get a tip? Like, what's your views on that?
That's
because you see it more than I do. You're a part of everything.
Yeah.
I just am the music.
I love it when clients do recognize every vendor that's there, because they'll ask, should I leave for this? And I'm always like, yeah, I think you should absolutely. The owner of the company typically is not a recipient of a tip, but it's the people that work for them.
Right.
Although I do get tips.
Well, I get tips.
Yeah, I do because of my service, but I wouldn't they wouldn't necessarily tip the caterer, owner of the catering company.
No,
they would
right.
tip the
the people that are there,
and the servers that are there.
Yeah.
Correct. So I mean, I've gotten some amazing things. I've gotten handbags.
Oh, wow.
I've gotten jewelry. I've gotten just big, nice cash tips. I got a really beautiful inlaid jewelry box from a client one time. It was a Korean
cool.
gift. Yeah, it was a Korean family, and they found something that was very representative of them. Beautiful gift. I've gotten books that they published. Like the father-in-law was like a well-known South American bird watcher, and I got his book
autographed.
Yes.
Oh, and he must have known you're into bird watching.
Now I am because of the book. I am now a bird watcher.
If you know anything about Amanda, you know she loves birds and she loves to watch them. She is always out there like this at every wedding we go to. I'm like, what are you doing?
Checking out that yellowtail finch.
There's some great yes. And I saw a couple Cardinals and Blue Jays over there. I have actually become a big bird fan. I got two bird poles, one in my front, one in my back.
Are you kidding?
With they hold 4 different bird houses, and I am all about the birds.
Oh my gosh!
Good bird food is not cheap, by the way.
Okay, I know nothing about birds, and you're opening my eyes.
Yeah, and one is right outside my office window, so I can open my window, turn around when I'm not doing radio stuff or whatever, and just watch the birds. I'm an old man. Oh,
you are
my gosh.
an old man. You and your plaid pants.
Oh, so tipping. We used to get more tips when I would get paid the night of.
Right.
Now that it's all digital,
you're not seeing that as much.
Not as much, because you usually have to go pay after the fact.
Right.
Which is always a good sign when you get an email or a message saying, "Hey, how do I tip the DJ that was at our wedding the other day?
Yeah.
Who do I send it to?" I'm like, well, you can just send it here. I'll get it to that DJ.
Sure.
That is awesome. Or when they mail a card to me.
Yeah, but there's a check in there.
Yeah, for the DJ, which is really cool with a nice note. Which leads into reviews.
Absolutely.
Which is the second part of this.
Way more than a tip, a review is the single greatest gift you can give.
It is, but we do like the cash. We do like to don't get us wrong.
No, don't get us wrong.
I mean, everybody likes that, but if you're tipping, you must love the service.
Please tell people.
So follow it by review, and it doesn't take 2 seconds to write a review.
It doesn't take much at all.
Well, the top review sites. I mean, you could post it right on their.
I think Google is number
website.
one. I think to put it on Google and Bing by far, because that's going to drive SEO, and that's going to help. That's going to help.
Google, The Knot, Wedding Wire, all those things. I send out after each wedding. I send out an email saying thank you. If you could, please review us, and I give them links to make it easy. So here's a quick trick for anybody who's watching or listening. When you're doing reviews, do the first one, copy it.
I've heard that's not good for Google. I've heard that's a bad idea.
You have to do it again?
You have to go in and change the verbiage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's too much work. Copy it, paste it on the next one, and then each site can have the same review. I don't care as long as they're reviewing me.
I have
do Google first. I don't know.
Google always first, but I've just read that is
5 stars review.
They see it as spam. Like when the site scrapers go through, they see it as spam because it's been done multiple times. Oh, it's the same.
Wow. Yeah. I'm learning something on my own show. I didn't know that.
I've done a lot of research into SEO and all kinds, and I don't know that that's absolutely true, but I've heard
it probably is.
You need to change up the verbiage a little bit.
Yeah. About how much, I wonder.
Probably not dramatically. Yeah. I think you could. I mean, I think as long as you, I don't know. We need to talk to an
just
SEO
change it up
about that. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. We should have an SEO expert on here, but yeah, reviews are amazing.
Super important. They really are. And not only, that came out weird. Putting, let me start that over.
Did you say puss?
I did, and I didn't mean to. Posting is what I meant to
start
say.
again.
So reviews, yeah. At least posting it on your own social media, talking about your vendors, like, oh my gosh, we love this vendor. We thought they did a great job. Listing them out. People have gotten very savvy into doing that for photographers. I'm so proud of clients who know that they need to talk about their photographer. But if you are happy with your DJ, if you're happy with your caterer, please tell people.
Yeah.
Blast it. I would say don't do that. If you weren't satisfied, I think you always should go to the client, go to the vendor and say, hey, I really liked this, but I was disappointed in this.
Here's what you could do to make it better.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt the business.
I would never recommend that you automatically just go out and blast them, on social, because that is something that can't be undone.
Right.
And maybe there was a misunderstanding, maybe that, that wasn't understood, but always, if you're happy, give them 5 stars. At very least, just give them 5 stars and move on.
Yeah. And I've had those instances where there was a misunderstanding or something happened at the wedding.
Sure.
And, I had to talk to the couple and be like, please don't give us a bad review. And they're like, oh, we would never do that. Yeah. But here's what you could do